headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio. It's the Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your life, your marriage, your money, your work, everything. Whatever's going on in your life, give us a shout at 888-825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined here by best-selling author and good friend Rachel Cruz. And we're taking your calls on just about everything that's going on in your life. We have a packed audience out here today. It's good to see everybody. And by packed, there's like 12 people. And most of them are the child's family. So that makes my heart feel good. Nice and warm. It's good to see everybody. All right, let's go to Sarah in Pensacola, Florida. Let's see here. What's up, Sarah?
Hey, thanks so much for taking my call. I'm really excited to talk to you guys today.
Thank you so much. What's up?
So my question revolves around a parent needing financial assistance, but there's also some emotional and psychological stuff going on as well. So how do my husband and I generously care for my parents and help them financially as the Bible commands, while also not supporting or playing into a lack of planning and action on their part to improve their situation?
Okay, Sarah, tell me a little bit more about their situation. Are they really struggling, or they're just making different decisions than what you would make?
Both. So both, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to keep it real big picture here. So they are on a fixed income and don't have like any savings in place, but there's definitely some things that they've done over the years to put them in that position.
Okay.
Whereas my husband and I, we are the opposite. We are big planners. We followed the Ramsey plan, paid our house off last year. We're debt free. So it's kind of battling approaches to finances. And so over the years, we've tried to help in different ways, but now my parent is in the situation where they are more frequently asking for financial assistance for things.
Okay, so they're coming to you guys and asking for money. Okay.
Right, and it's increasing in quantity and amount. And so I really want to help them, and I want to honor them. And I know that the Bible commands for us to do that, but I also don't want to be an open bank account.
Yeah, Sarah, honor does not mean you give somebody whatever they want whenever they want it. That's not what honoring means. In fact, sometimes the best way I can honor my kids is to say no when they want to go get donuts again. Right?
Right.
And to say no because now I'm in a position to love you and honor you enough that I won't participate in you hurting yourself further. And like my kids will do, they'll kick and scream and be upset. And like our aging parents can do sometimes, they can get all upset. And they are welcome to do that. I'm not going to hold that in my soul. But I'm going to sit down and say, here is, if I'm going to give you money, here is, it's my money, so I have a choice. My wife and I, my husband and I have a choice on how we're going to spend our money. And so here's the stipulations for our money. And if you don't want the stipulations, that is fantastic. You're grown-ups. But that's the only way this money leaves us. And you said you tried to help them over the years. I think it's important. This is hard. Parents, you can only help your parents if they ask for it. When kids start trying to tell their parents what they should be doing with any number of things, it never works out right. You know what I mean? I don't want my kid. The other day, my son was telling me how to do something, and I finally just stopped and said, I'm old. I know how to do this. I'm an old man. I know how to. And he was like, well, and I was like, trust me, dude, I know. And so anyway, I think you need to be invited into the advice conversation. So have you sat down and said, we are scared for what comes next for y'all? What is the plan? Have y'all had that conversation?
Multiple times.
Okay. And what's the response? We don't need nothing.
Most recently, I think we've gotten to the point where they're very open about their approach, and we are open on our approach, and we came to a verbal agreement that we needed to find a middle ground here because staying on our opposite sides was not working.
Hold on. Go ahead, Sarah.
Well, no, I was going to say, I don't. Tell me, what do you mean we need to find a middle ground? Can you not just believe what you believe and they believe? Why? What's the middle ground? Is it because conversation was getting heated with conflict, or was it what was that?
No, they get very emotional, kind of just start breaking down, and then we can't continue the conversation. So,
but that's a choice that they are making. That's a manipulation. That's a way to get you to do things. And a middle ground, you don't need to come to a middle ground when it comes to bending on your values and what you think is important and what you and your husband have put forth as the way we're going to handle money. There's not a middle ground there. There is if you would like our money, here's our values. And if y'all want to kick and scream and yell and get upset, you are welcome to do that. You can't do it in our home because we don't talk like that with each other. But you're welcome to not answer our phone calls and be mad and think we're terrible kids. We love you too much.
Yeah, it's very hard to set those boundaries.
It is. And that's where all of this right now, all of your focus is, how do I deal with them? Rachel, I want to shift it to you, Sarah. How do you and your husband make peace with, these are our values. How do you and your husband make peace with when mom and dad get mad, throw a temper tantrum, tell us we're the worst kids ever? What do we do? How do we circle around each other and move forward?
And what's hard, Sarah, though, is every person, right? Especially when you're dealing with your parent, you resort back, Sarah, to that 6-year-old girl, right?
Instantly.
Like, you go back to who you were because it's that relationship. It's your parents and you. And you have to be grown up, Sarah, in that situation. You have to look at yourself and say, I have to take care of that little girl that's there that is scared of her parents and kind of is like, oof. But you also have to be able to say, okay, I'm a grown adult and my husband and I have created a family. We have done this. And there's a confidence there, Sarah, that you guys you've literally done the steps. You've done it. You've gotten the results you've wanted. And that's enough to stand on, to be able to say, hey, this is our values and this is what we believe. But that's what's so hard about the parent-child relationship, I think, is because we can resort back to like,
our bodies go there,
it's
right?
That, yeah.
And Sarah, let me tell you this. It's unfair to put a kid in a position to be responsible for the emotional regulation of the adults in their world. And so if you grew up in a house where you had to make sure dad didn't get too mad, or you had to make sure mom doesn't cry because now we're all going to go down, I'm sorry that they put you in that position. That wasn't fair. You were a kid, and that was too heavy of a burden for you to carry. It wasn't your job. It was the adult's job to not throw temper tantrums, to not get upset, to be able to emotionally regulate themselves. And it sounds like that is carried over into your adult life. And I want to tell you now, as an adult, that's not your job. Your job is to treat them with dignity and with respect and with kindness and not participate in them further hurting themselves.
And setting boundaries is not dishonoring your parents.
Absolutely not.
Change the language of that, because that's just not true.
That's right. And I'll repeat that. Honoring somebody does not mean you give them whatever they want whenever they want. So parents are like, you need to honor your parents and give me. That's not how that works. That's not what the word honor means. Honor means I will love you even when it's hard, and it's hard to say no. Your parents are lucky to have you, Sarah. You and your husband need to get away, get some firm values and some firm boundaries, and then start practicing setting them forward. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Visit Blinds.com to save up to 40% off everything site-wide. Go to Blinds.com for more information.
This is The Ramsey Show. Give us a shout at 888-825-5225. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Rachel Cruz, best-selling author, one of the greatest people who's ever lived. Let's go out to Taylor in Fort Wayne, Indiana. What's up, Taylor?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Awesome. How are you?
Oh, doing great. Just money stuff, you know.
Just money stuff.
What's up?
Yeah. So I'm a baby step number 2er. All of that debt that I have is solely student loans, and I'm currently in the grace period of the student loans.
I think it should be called the disgrace period.
Whoa.
Yeah, honestly.
Is that what we should call it?
That's fair. That's fair. Taylor.
How much do you owe?
So I've been working on it. I started with 94. I'm down to 84,000. So
Nice.
I'm working really hard.
Yes.
But my question is if the most effective way to tackle this grace period. So these past few months, I've been tackling it as if I'm in repayment. So I'm making those projected minimum monthly payments on all of them, and then tackling, my target. But I'm wondering, since there is that flexibility in the grace period, should I be taking that extra $800 and just absolutely annihilating my target, or just keep with the path of the minimum monthly payments and then throwing the extra at my target?
What's your target?
Well,
Like the
just
store?
whatever
Rachel, when you say the
one
word
is.
target to Rachel, her heart starts beating faster.
Oh, sorry. No, I just meant the one, the smallest loan, working the snowball right now is what I'm doing. And the one that is getting all the extra money thrown at it at that time is what I'm referring to as my target. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So how many, so your student loan, out of the 84, how many separate loans are there?
Oh, gosh. Well, then you break it down between federal and private. So I'm using the federal stuff going on right now to my advantage. I'm putting on the back burner because it's got that 0% interest right now. So my private loans are getting all my financial attention right now. So I've been focusing on them, and I'm down to 6 of them.
6 private loans. And then how many federal?
Yeah.
Is it just the one?
Just a lot of little guys, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 little ones, 1 to 2,000. But they're all 4%, and when they do come back and start, adding up or whatever. But since they're at 0% right now, I've decided to just focus on my 10 to 13% interest loans.
Yeah.
But I'm still working the snowball within my private, if that makes sense.
No, it does. No, it absolutely does. So I understand what you're saying. I would look at 2 things, Taylor. Number one, student loans is the one type of debt we're okay with you consolidating. And it feels like there's a lot to keep up with here. I mean, you're making 15 different payments a month to continue, the minimum. There's a lot going on. So I would look to see, is there a way, again, look at the option and see, okay, if I consolidated some of these into a lower interest rate, that may just make it more simplistic through it. But I still, Taylor, even though private versus public, and I hear what you're saying about the interest rate, I would still be knocking out those smaller ones. Because you said there's one that's $1,000 here or there. I'm just go ahead and get those out of the way and get that momentum going as you continue to pay the minimum payments on everything else. How much do you make a year?
About 50.
Okay. How old are you?
50,000. 24.
24. Okay.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a speech therapist.
Oh, way to go.
Good for you. And that's a great job, Taylor, to do private sessions with kids and, do other things. If I were you, I would be making extra income using your degree because you can make a lot doing some stuff, maybe a few nights a week.
Right.
And up that 50 because it'll take a while to knock out that 84 with just making the 50. So I commend you on, you've knocked out 10, which is incredible. And you're doing exactly what you should be doing. And I hear, you're organized, you're doing this, you're excited about it. There's definitely that enthusiasm that I can hear in your voice. But I would still pay off that smallest interest rate, and I would be working extra, get that 50 up for a period of time and knock this out.
Okay, so still just act as if it's in repayment, essentially. Just make all the minimums and just kind of keep doing what I'm doing. Okay.
Like the old school, like the baby steps as they're intended, the snowball, put all 15 of those loans in order of smallest to largest. And
regardless of
just
private.
put a piece of tape over their interest, the interest you're paying on them. And every financial fancy pants listening to this, and every Instagram influencer is like, "It's so stupid, bro. You're just leaving money on the and this isn't a money game. This is a psychology game." And I would love for you to look up in 5 months and have 4 to 6 of those loans knocked out. And you think you're getting ahead because you're paying 13% against 5%, and that feels right mathematically. Actually, it is right mathematically. Okay, you're right on the math. But we've just done this so long, the psychology doesn't work. You get tired, and then you're going to need a new car, and then you're going to need, right? And so you're just going to run into stuff and just hit the gas pedal on these things. And Rachel said, she's dead on, man. Get another job, get 2 jobs, work extra. Let's make this a 24-month project and just be done forever. Be 26 and not owe anybody anything.
For sure.
Is that cool?
That is cool. Yep. Thank you, guys.
You're doing great,
Awesome.
Taylor.
Yeah, thank you for being a speech path, too. That's a tough gig. All right, let's go to Logan in Hartford, Connecticut. What's up, Logan?
Logan?
Logan. Are you there, brother? Nope. All right, let's go to Laura in Raleigh. What's up, Laura?
Guys, be quiet.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, how are you today? Hey, can you hear me?
I'm not going to be quiet.
That was
Can
a
you all
mom.
hear me?
That was a mom move, and
That was a total mom move.
I
Y'all caught
appreciate
me.
that. I appreciate that so much.
I've heard those words.
I said that 8 times today.
You
already.
be quiet my whole life. Yeah. So what's up?
Well, I have 4 boys, and so there's very little of that quiet in my house.
You're doing
Listen,
great.
you did it without swear words. That's incredible. Yes, congratulations. So how can we help?
Okay, so I need your help because I do not know how to budget my money. My husband has done a great job of providing for our family. He worked at a wonderful job for 10 years and was let go in 2018. And since then, he has been working on a project where he wants to develop a golf aid for golfers. And so he's been working on that.
Can I interject here?
Yeah.
So he got let go in 2018, and he's had a big idea for
5 years.
5 years and has made no money and probably put y'all in a hole.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, no, we're not in a hole yet, but that's why I'm calling to prevent that.
We're getting close. Okay.
Yeah. So he, like I said, we had quite a bit of money in savings, and we've been living off of that.
Oh, yeah.
He has successfully started a company before, and it's a wonderful company. Y'all have probably heard of it, but I won't mention it. But anyway, he's trying to do it again, and we have about $80,000 left. And every time I ask him, I'm like, I'm the spender, he's the saver. And so when we have financial discussions, it usually goes something like this: Laura, you need to stop spending money. And I'm like, well, I can't because we have a family, so give me a budget. He's like, well, just don't spend money where we don't need to. And
Have you said,
struggle with
how
that.
about you make some?
No.
Yeah, you should say
because
that. It's been
So
5 years,
we-
Laura.
I know. We did have a financial conversation 2 weeks ago, and I told him if by June this hasn't taken off, then I want you to get a job, or I want to sell our home. So we have we bought our house back in 20.
Okay, hey, Laura, do this. This is too important of a call because too many people are experiencing this across the country. So I'm going to hold you over through the break. Hang on the line here, and then we're going to bring you back. And Rachel and I are going to dig into this with you because there's a lot here. This is bigger than a money conversation. This has to do with you being terrified that your husband's going to continue this. So hang on the line here. We'll be right back right here on The Ramsey Show.
Look, I love real estate, and I want you to have a house, but I don't want a house to have you. That's why you need to get in touch with Churchill Mortgage to make sure you do this right. These guys are awesome. They'll help you get on a smarter mortgage plan because they're committed to doing what's right for you. That means they check in every year with free consultations to help you stay on the right plan. They show you how to save money and interest so you can build wealth faster. They walk you through the total cost of your loan so you can make the best choice. Basically, they care. That's why we call them Ramsey Trusted. You can achieve debt-free home ownership, and Churchill is here to help. Go to their site, churchillmortgage.com/Ramsey, to start your approval or get more information.
Triple 825-5225. This is the Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Rachel Cruz, and we are taking your calls on money and life and marriage, whatever's going on. Triple 825-5225. And we're going to go back to Laura in Raleigh, North Carolina. Laura, you there?
Yeah, hey.
All right, so I'm going to run back through your what's going on, and we can start here. And let me know if I'm missing something.
Okay.
You and your husband had a great job. Things were awesome. Y'all were cruising along, and then he got laid off in 2018. And he's an entrepreneur. Yeah. He's built a really successful business before, and he had another great idea to help golfers. And I think golfers need a lot of help, but that's a whole other conversation. And so he decided he's going to help golfers, and then we look up, and it's 2023. The business isn't making money. Y'all have basically set fire to your savings, and now there's starting to be some there's some tension in the home.
Pressure, yeah. We are getting canned.
Yeah, exactly. And so the conversations are turning into, hey, you need to quit spending money, him to you, right?
Yeah.
And
you'll have $80,000 left.
Yeah.
What does he bring in a year?
So nothing.
Zero.
Literally nothing.
Yeah.
It's
literally nothing. Since so he got a large severance package, and that was 2018, 2019, and then nothing since then.
Nothing.
Nothing. So we had a large savings, and we have no debt aside from our mortgage.
What's y'all's living expenses, Laura? If you said, okay, we spend how much a year? If you could estimate
a year, oh gosh. Probably 120, maybe 100. This is embarrassing because I am the spender, and I'm just like, I don't know how much I spend because if we need it, I buy it. And that's
and that's how you guys have been functioning. Yeah.
Yes.
Right before we went to the break, I said this isn't a money issue. There's something way deeper here.
Yeah.
I'm going to be super honest. Okay, is that cool? I'm worried about the future of y'all's. I'm worried about the future of y'all's marriage. Here's why. I think that if you were to be really honest with yourself, you're losing respect for your husband, or it's going to start rolling into from frustration to I'm just going to live my life, and he'll tell me to you're going to end up in resentment, and relational resentment is really tough to come back from. That's the ash. And he, on the other hand, is going to wrap himself up in shame. His thing's not working. He's got another deal and then maybe another deal. And I just need this one thing to come through. And all of a sudden he looks up and it's been 5 years. And he's going to tighten the control up, and that's going to come out on you. And he's going to resent his crazy spending wife who just doesn't understand. He just needs one more break in. You see what I'm saying? And y'all start living separate lives in the same home. And I've said it. You end up 2 inches apart, but 2,000 miles away from each other, and that's a recipe for a whole lot of issues.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
No, I've listened to your story before, and I've listened to your radio show before, and there have been many times where I've been like, yep, That's us.
Yeah.
Yep, that's us.
Yeah.
And so I am trying though. And so
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I did put boundaries in place. I may need to adjust those boundaries. He did acquiesce to my boundary of getting a job by June. But I think my main question is, like, where do we go from here? We have this house. We have about 415 approximately, because I don't know how much it would sell for if we could sell it. But we have 415 in equity in the house. We own,
but it's not a house problem.
You're trying to solve a math problem.
Yeah. It's not a house problem. It's an income problem. I mean, that's what it is. And so the house isn't the thing that is, out of whack. I mean, obviously you guys have a mortgage, and so you're like, oh, I have to actually pay the mortgage, and we don't have, the money is coming out of savings. And so, on a tactical level, Laura, not just the relational, because that's kind of what John was hitting on. On a tactical level, I'm going to give you Financial Peace University for a year and every dollar. And I want you guys to sit down together. And I think actually seeing numbers, and go back and pull grocery numbers from the last 3 months, restaurants, everything you spend money on, because there is this level of, I don't really know. And that fear starts to magnify when you don't have logic. John always says, facts are your friends. So I think just for today, just a practical step when it comes to the money piece is for you, and I would say you to do it, to do the budget first. And then you guys sit down and look at it. But I think that's going to give you a guiding post, because you're going to be able to say, okay, we spend $10,000. We need $10,000 a month to keep our lifestyle without dipping into savings. How do we solve that problem, right? You can tactically start, hitting that, which is going to give you a level of peace, because you are terrified, right? I mean, and anyone would, Laura. I mean, you've watched savings dwindle for the last 5 years. So you're not crazy. You're not this like, oh, I'm over the top dramatic. No, this is real life. You have 4 boys. You're a mom, and you're looking at grocery bills and all of it. And so you've been doing that on your own as well, which is what it sounds like. And so he needs to see the numbers realistically of what is going on, because this whole idea of, oh, you just can't, just stop spending. And you're like, no, literally, there's like a sports fee for him to play soccer. Like I have to pay that. Like there are things that
Costco's wild.
Yeah. Like there are actual things that I have to spend, and I want him to see these numbers, because you've been on an island, Laura, in a lot of different ways, emotionally, lots of ways, but financially you have been, and so I want to bring him in to that conversation, and you guys start. And I want you guys to go through Financial Peace University together. I think it's just a great springboard. It's getting you on the same page when it comes to the money piece. And what's wild, and I don't know which comes first, the chicken or the egg, John, but we hear people all the time say, gosh, we started working together with our money and suddenly our marriage improved. Right. For some people, they're like, no, we needed our marriage to improve, and then we worked on the money together, right? I don't know which one's first. I don't even know if there's a truth. It's kind of like that chicken or egg thing. But they both are so deeply intertwined.
So let me tell you how I would enter this conversation if I'm you, Laura. I would put you have to get a job by June. That is a tactic that comes later. The first conversation is sitting down and saying, we need to have a hard conversation. And you look at him and say, I'm scared to death and I can't breathe.
I think the problem is that I'm not scared, because I know that's going to sound crazy. I grew up without a lot. And so I feel like it would not be the worst thing in the world for me. I actually think it would be a little good for our boys to learn less entitlement. Like, our boys live in a big house, have a lot of things, and they just think that that's how life goes. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. Like,
okay, those are boundaries, Laura, you can put in place as a parent, regardless of your financial situation. It doesn't need to be out of a desperation.
Don't use your boys. Don't use your kids as an excuse to tell your husband you want to move. Don't do that. Don't use your kids as an excuse to tell your husband, I don't respect you anymore because you haven't had a job in 5 years. And a common trap with entrepreneurs, especially ones that are successful right out of the gate, is they're really good at the thing they did that they sell, and it becomes really good. And they think that they're good at building businesses. They may have just been really good at plumbing, or they may have been really good at selling online whatever, and it doesn't translate all the time. And you get stuck like you're spinning your tires in the mud, right? And so you might not be scared but you're losing faith in this guy.
Yeah, yeah, John, I think you're right. It's more fear for my relationship than it is for the money and the house and all the stuff. I'm like, I want to be.
You want to be what?
I want to be married.
There you go.
In 5 years.
Laura, that's where you start.
I want to be married.
That's where you start. Not with you got to get a job, not you're a lazy bum, and not. It is, I want to be married to you in 5 years, and I think that the foundation underneath this is cracking underneath our feet. And I love you too much. Hang on the line here. Rachel, we're going to give you the tools that can help keep you guys afloat and put you all on the same page, but you both got to be vulnerable and start there. Okay? Laura, hang on the line, and Jen will get you taken care of. We'll be right back right here on The Ramsey Show. Yo, hey, if you're a new listener and you want to dive deeper into the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for your financial journey based on exactly where you are today. Sometimes we're talking through the show and people are like, that's not really my situation. Go to RamseySolutions.com and click on Get Started, and it will line up with exactly where you are. RamseySolutions.com, click Get Started. All right, let's go to Anthony in Davenport. What's up, Anthony? How we doing?
Hey, John and Rachel. How you guys doing today?
Great. What's happening, brother? How can we help?
Good. Hey, so I'm calling to see if my wife and I should pay off our mortgage.
Yes.
So here's our situation. We owe about $160K on our house, and we have about $115 in the savings account, another $27 in a checking account, and then another about $25 in a joint account that we can pull out and have access to at any time. So I was just calling to see if I guess that would leave us with about $8K in savings. Just calling to see if that's a good move or if we should build up our savings a little bit.
Yeah. How much do you guys make a year, Anthony?
So last year was about $170K, $175K.
Okay. Do you know off the top of your head what your expenses would be 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, that like $8K would be about close to, it'd probably be 3 or 4 months. But then we also do have a 9-month-old son at home, so I didn't know if that changes anything.
Yeah, I mean, I would lean whenever kids are in the picture. I like to lean the 6-month rule just to because you have it, and there's no. We want you to pay off your house, but there's no point in draining absolutely everything in order to do it, right? We want to be wise about it.
But if you're getting a check for $14,000 February 1st or February 15th, is that right?
Are you talking like a tax return, or?
No, I'm saying if you make $175,000, your take home is gonna be what, about 14? No, your take home would be about 11, right?
Yeah, we're probably be a little bit shy of that this month.
Okay, so if you went down to 8,000, or you just wait till February 1st or February 15th, and you get down to 8, you're going to turn around and get a check for 11, and you're going to spend 2 to 3 to 4 of that for the month, and you're right back up to your 4 to 5 to 6 month emergency fund, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yep.
So yeah.
Okay. So you guys are just saying, hey, hang on for a couple month or two just to be on the safe side.
I mean, I would probably wait through February 15th, but then I would cash out that joint and then take what's ever left of that 15, drain a little bit of the checking, and
that's the thing I would do is I would get rid of the 27, I'd get rid of the 25, I would take the 115 account and probably take 195 out of it into where I had $20,000 left, and then wait till that next check comes back in. That's probably what I would do, because I man, here's what it feels like at this moment. You ever driving down the highway and you really have to go to the bathroom and your body just kind of settles into like that dull ache, like I gotta go. And then you see a gas station and you exit, and then all of a sudden it's like rockets. Like I gotta go now. You know what I mean? Like it gets so, the urgency is so raw. That's where you are right now. You've got this money. You realize how close we are, and now it's like I gotta go. And Rachel's call to wisdom is important. We just talked to too many people that pay it all off, and then all of a sudden their car explodes next month, and they got a 9-month-old, and now they're in a mess. But I do love the idea of you
just taking a big chunk this month just for fun.
Chunk.
Yep.
You got $10,000 left on your mortgage, and you've got $20,000 in the bank, and the next month you get a check for $11,000 and you're debt free.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's
awesome.
how I would do it at my house. So
Anthony, well done.
Yeah, congratulations, man. That's incredible.
Yeah, thank you guys. We appreciate it.
Congratulations.
That's
so great.
really, really, really fantastic.
So great.
About this time of year, we get flooded with calls because everyone's looking for a fresh start with their money. We saw record expenses during Christmas, and now we are seeing record balances on personal credit card accounts. And that leads me to believe, Rachel, that people put things on their credit card not to survive, not because inflation, things are expensive, but to prop up a lifestyle. This is the way we live. This is who we are. This is what our Christmas looks like. And I'm just going to put on credit cards then. And now we got hell to pay. And so if that's you, you can't just wish for things to change and expect it to happen. You've got to do some different things with your money, and you got to have a plan. And we teach you that plan in Financial Peace University. This is the course that will help you rethink how you manage money. You'll learn our proven plan to beat debt, build wealth, plus you'll have our financial coaches to help you every step of the way. And that's really important. People often say, like, I can't get through on the show. So we hired financial coaches that will help you. Nearly 10 million people have taken FPU, followed this plan, and changed their lives. You can do it too, and today is the perfect time to start. Right now we're offering FPU. We're doing anti-inflation, $69.99, but only through the end of the month. That is almost half off. That's super cheap. $69.99. For FPU. This year, you can have more peace in your finances in your life. Don't wait to do this. Get this limited time offer on FPU at RamseySolutions.com/deal, DEAL. That's RamseySolutions.com/deal. All right, let's run to Nick in New York City. What's up, Nick? We're right up against the clock, so go as quick as you can. Get to your question. What's up?
Hi, my name is Nick. So I'm in the New York area. I'm 24 years old, making $150,000 pre-tax. I work for one of the major tech giants that just laid off about 18,000 people. I'm currently being recruited for a similar role at a large bank for a rough total of about $200,000 compensation. And in short, my question is whether or not I should continue pursuing that role or other roles that are similar, given the current tech economy, as that other companies done 1,100 layoffs.
Which company's done 1,100? You said yours did 18.
Yeah, so my current company has done about 18,000 layoffs.
Yeah.
And the company that I'm being recruited for has done 1,100.
Oh, I gotcha. What do you enjoy, Nick? What's your, you love the banking world? You love the tech world?
So they're both technology roles within either, I guess you can call it warehousing or banking. I'm passionate about both. I think my current role is somewhat safe because I own 2 large platforms, but I often feel like I'm doing the job of about 3 to 4 people, which provides some degree of safety, but also makes me feel frequently overworked. And it's kind of one of the reasons I'm looking for a new role as well. So I'm kind of trying to understand whether or not I should give up that feeling of security to pursue new opportunities in general, given the landscape as a whole.
Well, I don't think you're going to have infinite security because the field you are in is being shaken around like a snow globe right now, right? So that's the nature of that season right now, right? You're a farmer and it has been raining for years and suddenly there's a drought. That's where you are, okay? If you're telling me that you can make an additional $50,000 in guaranteed salary, stay in the current place where you live, and a company did smaller layoffs, but they have their eyes on you, I would sit down with that company and say, "Can we sign on 3 years?" And I would be really open because you're negotiating from a position of strength, which is, You just laid off 1,800 people. I survived the big 18,000 layoff at my place. They want me there. I'm nervous to come over. I want to be a part of what y'all are doing, but I'm nervous to come over and then just turn around and get laid off right when I get there. What guarantees do you have? How safe is the right? So I would just be really direct and open because you can be. Because if they say no, you go, oh man, and then you have a $150,000 job you can fall back on.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Here's the deal. Don't try to avoid the discomfort right now. You're in a volatile industry right now. I would try to utilize your strengths, get as good as you possibly can, seek to get some more credentials, make yourself bulletproof in this season, right? Because there is a lot of layoffs, but tech's not going away, man. It's not going anywhere. Hey, this has been the first hour of The Ramsey Show. We'll be right back. Give us a shout, 888-825-5225. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, it's Dr. John Deloney. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money and your marriage and your work and your life. I'm Dr. John Deloney, joined here by Rachel Cruz, best-selling author and great human being. And we're taking your calls to really just about anything. The call is toll-free, and that's about what the advice is worth, but we're here for you. 888-825-5225. 888-825-5225. All right, let's go to the question of the day, Rachel. Today's question comes from Samuel in Georgia.
Yes, so Samuel says, we just bought a $330,000 house, knowing it needed some updating. We got quotes for a $200,000 remodel if we did an addition, and updated every inch of the house inside and out. We have $180,000 in the bank currently, but have a family member willing to give us a $50,000 loan interest-free. Our income is roughly $6,800 a month. If we budget and don't spend money on anything on anything outside of bills and groceries, our expenses would be around $5,000 a month. I don't feel good about spending that much, but just curious what you guys think about an interest-free loan helping make it a dream home. What a nice little spin there at the end.
So good.
So good, Samuel.
Oh, Samuel, I want to give you a hug, buddy. Let's hug.
Samuel. Okay. Just short answer, Samuel, no.
Yeah, don't do
No. I mean, like, I understand math. Well, mathematically, you're like, oh, there's no interest. This seems like a good deal. But when you involve debt, period, into your life, it changes the equation. And then on top of that, it's not a bank you're borrowing from, some big building. It's a family member, which honestly feels worse.
Oh, dude, because every dinner, every Sunday afternoon dinner,
every text,
he's gonna look over and be like, first he took my daughter, and now he gives me $50,000. Or you're gonna buy a new rake, and he's gonna be like,
I know, that's it too.
Oh, huh? I thought you were gonna pay me my money back.
That you were owed me some money, and it's like, yeah, that he's your bank. Then whoever the family member is, it's just weird.
I got a new opportunity to take a new job. You need to stay where you are.
I need my
money. I need to get paid back. Dude, it's just, and even with like, no, there's gonna be no strings attached. You just do your thing.
It rarely
don't
works out.
Don't.
So I would not, Samuel. So if I were you guys, you're saying it would be an addition and updating every inch of the house. So pull back the bid. I mean, I would say, okay, let's just do the downstairs for now. Maybe 1 or 2 bathrooms upstairs, which won't be $200,000, maybe $100,000, and you have that in the bank. Go ahead and start it. And do a little bit at a time, or wait and save up until you guys have the cash, which is going to be months from now, and do it then. But no, I would not take the loan. I would go at the speed of cash when you guys have the cash to do it. And just I'd say simmer down, Samuel. You know, I feel like there's this lifestyle, this lifestyle level that everyone expects to have, and it's not necessary. And we sacrifice our mental health, John, our sleep at night, our peace to go and just acquire stuff in the name of just having that new house. And when you drain your account, when you go into debt for this kind of stuff, it's not worth the trade-off.
Right.
Just to have stuff, and then you're stressed, and you're having to go to a job that you hate to pay the bills. I mean, all of it. So
we were just talking off air, and Winston was in here earlier, and I've been talking to him about a particular truck that I was into, and he likes the same kind of truck, and we were talking about it, and my wife and I made an agreement that if we hit a financial milestone at Christmas, that the next big purchase for us would be get me a car. Finally, I got my car. It's not great, and I found myself getting insane. Like I was waking up in the morning and I was scrolling the things and I was emailing guys, hey, can you see if you can find this? And I was checking in with Winston. And he's like, dude, just be a grown up and get the car. Like, and then I realized this fervor is the absolute worst time to buy anything. So I just stopped, and he just came by and goes, hey, did you get the truck? And I was like, I'm just waiting at least a month, probably 2, maybe even 4 or 5. And when I did that, everything went, my anxiety left. It was just chill out. I'm only going to make purchases, especially like this of a new truck, which evidently they're pressed in platinum and gold. They're so expensive, or $100,000 or $200,000 remodel. Only do that when you can just plop right down in bed at night and go right to sleep.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
And if you owe your father-in-law or mother-in-law or dad or uncle money, I'm telling you're not going to sleep, man. No matter how good they say the interest is, you're just not.
Yep, that's right. That's right. So Samuel, nope. Move at the speed of cash. Take your time. You're okay. Everything's fine. There's no rush in this. No one's making you do this either.
Yeah. You know what? I know we need to move on, but I really like what you just said about do one bathroom at a time, or just do the downstairs. I bet you, as you get into this project, what you want to do to that house will change.
Yeah.
And it will morph. And, oh, y'all did this. So what if we, and if you do it as you do, if you pay for project by project, they're going to tell you, it'd be way cheaper if you just did all right now. Fine, then I'll find somebody else who will meet this bid, and they'll take care of it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of doing it project by project, instead of just getting mowed down your whole house and basically.
Yeah, and if you said, you know, I have $1 million, can I take 200 and go? I'd be like, yeah, go. You know what I mean? Like it's about the math. It's the money here, and so the ratios. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Not worth it right now.
All right, let's go to Melissa and San Luis Obispo. What's up? Let's see here. Do we have? All right, let's do it. Melissa, what's up? We're right up against the clock, so get right to your question.
Yeah, I'm working 2 jobs, aggressively paying off student loans, and I was recently in an auto accident, totaling my vehicle.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry.
I'll receive $21,000 in settlement this coming week. And my question is, in purchasing a new vehicle, does it make sense to spend that settlement amount, invest more money from my emergency fund, or spend less money in order to put some of that settlement amount towards my student loans?
Great question. How much student loans do you have left?
So I have $80,000 remaining, and currently under interest-free forbearance. When interest begins again, my rates are anywhere from 4.5 to 7.5%.
Okay.
For the past year, I've been making payments of $3,000 or more per month.
Good for you. How much do you make a year?
I make $100,000 in my full-time job and approximately $20,000 a year in my weekend side hustle.
Good for you. Oh my
Can I ask you a question, Melissa?
Yes.
You know what you want to do. What do you want to do?
So because maintaining these 2 jobs and long commutes, and I also happen to be in a romantic relationship in which we're 4 hours apart, about 500 miles twice a month, and my hobbies are mountain activities in which 4-wheel drive is necessary, I lean towards spending the entire $21,000 again on another reliable, fun vehicle, or even investing maybe up to $5,000 more. But I'm not sure which will bring me more long-term happiness.
Okay,
doing that,
you
or
are going to
putting
hate.
more money towards my loan.
You're going to hate what I'm about to say, Melissa.
Yeah.
You ready? You're broke. You owe $80,000 to the government. if I were you, I would spend $5,000 on a good Camry or a Honda Accord, and I would put the rest of that money towards my debt, and I would use that as a incentive jet fuel to pay that stuff off as quick as possible so I can get the car that I actually want to live the life I actually want to live. Right now, you can't live the life you want because you owe the government money. Knock it out, knock it out, knock it out. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Still on baby step number 1, eh?
How'd you guess?
With healthcare costs rising, learn how Christian Healthcare Ministries can help you make the most out of your budget. Visit chministries.org/budget.
Don't worry, it's worth it.
Hey, what's up? This is The Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Rachel Cruz, 888-825-5225, taking your calls on money and on life. Let's go out to Abby in Omaha. What's up, Abby?
Hello, John and Rachel. How are you?
Remarkable. How are you?
Great, thank you. I just had a quick tax question. My husband pulled out some money from a Roth IRA that he had from a previous job last year, and we are working baby step number 2. We just bought FPU, and so we have money in savings, but we are trying to figure out what the best plan is of, do we use that money that we have in savings to go ahead and just, push us forward on our snowball, or do we hold on to it and just kind of see for a couple of months and see what's going to happen with our taxes?
How much did you guys
go ahead.
How much did you guys pull out of the Roth?
He pulled 50.
Why?
You keep saying he did this.
Why did he do that, Abby?
Yes, he did. Well, he was kind of concerned about, the crash and losing it.
No.
So he initially rolled it into a gold Roth IRA and then pulled the gold.
What a box of farts on a stick. That's I can't believe you did that.
So we usually get a tax refund back.
How much you guys
Not this year.
How much do you guys make a year?
But I know combined it's about 140.
Okay.
So
listen, you need to have a hard conversation with him and just look him in the eye, hold both of his hands. Put YouTube down. Put the internets down. Take his phone away.
Many discussions. Yeah, it was a topic of many discussions. So, but it was, I say he because we agree to disagree, I guess. So, but I just,
you mean you didn't understand that it's all coming down, Abby? Abby.
I did.
It's all coming down.
He's being facetious.
I'm just being an idiot.
That's okay. I totally understand, his desire to be prepared. And we have 2 little kids at home. And so he just wanted to make sure that we were going to be okay.
How much do you guys have in savings, Abby? How much do you guys have in savings?
20,000.
Okay.
20. So it's like, okay, well, we usually get a tax refund back. I'm expecting to have to pay in. I'm not really sure how much that's going to be. He wants to wait and hold on to what we have in savings until we see how much we're going to have to pay in. I want to put half of that down and kind of...
How much debt do you guys have?
Right now, about 85.
What's it in?
Various things, small personal loans, credit cards, and 1 vehicle.
Okay. You could get with a tax professional and see, okay, what are the taxes we're going to owe in their tax bracket? What are the fees associated with this, right? And kind of get that estimate. I mean, you're going to know here soon of what you're going to owe. So yeah, you don't want to. I would not recommend taking this 20 and just throwing it at the debt right now. I want you to have an emergency fund and IRS when it comes to paying the government, that's top, right? So that knowing that you're going to have that tax bill coming up is huge. So yeah, if you guys can get any kind of estimate on what your refund is going to be, what the taxes will be on taking this out, and then kind of look and see, okay, you can make a move from there, or you can pause, save up a bunch, and when you guys kind of clear tax season, then go and throw the rest at your debt.
And I want to. There's some wisdom underneath what Rachel is saying, and I want to make sure you get it, because you need it, your husband needs it, all of us need it, okay? Back in 2010, when the market was bananas and I was not well, I was an anxious mess. I was like a beautiful mind. I'd come up with all these spreadsheets about how the next housing market was going to collapse. They're going to have to nationalize housing. It was going to be a big thing. I had this whole thing lined up.
Yeah.
And before I had a whole plan. I was going to cash out all my retirement. I was going to take the hit. I was going to do this. I was going to do this. I was going to do this. And thankfully, I went and sat with a buddy who worked at a bank. And then I sat with another buddy who was, admittedly, I was privileged to have this relationship, but he was a close friend, but he was the CFO of a large company. I walked through my whole crazy plan, and both of them said, I'm not certain about what you're doing here. And they're just being gentle with me, but they said, don't cash out anything. Whatever you do, don't do that. And I listened to them because they had this thing that I didn't have, which was information and wisdom. And I'll tell you, you're struggling with the tax. I don't know what we're going to owe. Should we pay off this debt? What you need is information and wisdom. And Rachel was so wise to tell you, call a tax professional today. Don't sit there and just spin out on, I don't know, what should we do? I don't know. Just hire somebody. Go get an accountant. Some of the best money you will spend in your life is to get a tax professional with you. And does that make sense? And you're going to get some very clear information about what your next steps will be.
Yeah, and we actually reached out to one that we found through your website instead of using the same lady that we worked the last couple of years. So we did reach out to one of your guys' trusted tax professionals, and so kind of gave him a rundown of what we had going on. And so he said he was going to look into tax law and everything for the last couple of years and just kind of see what would benefit us the most. But
yeah,
my husband was like, well, let's wait. And then I was like, well, can we use at least half? Because my assumption is we're not going to have to use all of that to pay.
I would wait. I do not want to owe the government money. That's what
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then you guys need to have the discipline, Abby, because you got $85K in credit cards, personal. You guys have just been all over the place, and that's not to shame you, but it's like we gotta straighten this up, right? We're pulling money out of the market. We're in this mess, and so you guys together need a really solid plan. And I mean, like, I would go detailed, and to say, okay, we need an answer from our tax professional by February 20th. On February, 28th, I was going to say February 30th, February 28th, we're going to be putting money here, there, and there. I want it down to the dates, and I want you guys having a plan that is so shored up that you can look down and see on a sheet of paper, this is exactly what's going to happen. These are the dominoes that are going to fall, and we know exactly what we're doing to knock out this debt. You guys make great money, and to budget. And have you guys gone through Financial Peace University?
I just bought it, actually.
Okay, great.
I just bought it, so
sit down together and do that. Yep, I think that's great. And do a budget, maybe for the first time ever. Do every dollar. But you guys, you have been scattered, is what it feels like. And so, I'm glad you called, because I'm like, I really want you guys to make progress, because you can. You guys are smart.
Yeah,
you're smart. You can do this.
We are. I'm trying to work extra hours on my job, and then he's also took on a second weekend job. So
Awesome. You're ready for it. Yep.
Taking all those. Yeah, we're taking all those steps, and we know that it's going to be a short-term sacrifice for a long-term gain. And so that's what we're doing. One tax question I had, and so now we're going to buckle down and get Gazelle Intent.
That's right.
Excellent.
That's right. I love it, Abby. So, John, this has been really a common thing. This is, we did our Building Wealth events around investing, because this time last year it was like the real estate market, people were freaking out, and now it's this market. And we cannot stress enough, you guys, I don't care how much the news is barking at you, I don't care what your family is saying on Facebook, people that are wealthy long-term, that actually build real wealth, not like this flash in a pan, but long-term stable wealth, One of the second thing that they say is most important out of our millionaire study is investing consistently, regardless of what the market is doing. Warren Buffett says to be greedy when people are fearful, and be fearful when people are greedy. And greedy is not a great word, but it's a powerful metaphor, because when people are jumping on like crypto and all these new things, and they're like, get in, be cautious. And then when people are freaking out, that's when you get in, because you guys, when the market is down, it's on sale. And people that build wealth, they are in it consistently. And when it starts going up again, which it will, we believe in the American economy enough to know that it will, they make all those gains as it's going up. They make all that money. And everyone sitting on the sidelines tries to jump in then when it's going up. So wealthy people stay in consistently, you guys. Stay in the market. Don't cash out. Don't slow down your investments. If you are out of debt with a fully funded emergency fund, you fund that 15%. We're doing Roth IRAs right now. I just signed a DocuSign literally today. So I'm like, we're invest.
Yeah, we've upped our investment too in our house.
That's great.
We've been doing business at Ramsey for more than 30 years. By now, we're a well-oiled machine, but it wasn't always that way. Yes, we've always had a vision, always had determination, and a drive to help people. But what we didn't have was one central place to access all our numbers so that we could get further ahead or quickly see when we needed to pivot. We were always jumping back and forth between different systems and spreadsheets. So when NetSuite by Oracle helped us wrangle our revenue, inventory, expenses, and more into one place, it was a game changer. And NetSuite's #1 cloud financial system can help your business gain the same visibility, because businesses thrive on timely data. And NetSuite's real-time analytics can help your business have immediate access to your numbers daily, so you always know where you stand and you can move quickly. So go to netsuite.com/Ramsey today and set up a free product tour. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
You know the feeling. You've been on a few awesome dates with a person. Things are getting a little more serious. And suddenly your brain stops working. You can't figure out what to talk about next. And then you all sit there and just stare at your phones. And then you order another appetizer and things get weird. And then you bring up your stepmom or something and then the whole thing just falls apart. And things get stupid and awkward so fast. Listen, deeper relationships happen when you have real in-person conversations. I saw the phrase, Rachel, the other day, digital intimacy. And I just got hemorrhoids. Instant hemorrhoids. I just almost died. Listen, deeper relationships happen when you have real in-person conversations and get to know the humans behind the profiles. The ones, or if you're already with somebody long-term, like they're sitting right there on the couch next to you. That's why I created Questions for Humans. You're going to spend time laughing together, learning something unexpected about each other. I've been married for more than 20 years. When Sheila and I were coming up with these questions, like my wife and I, we were doing the questions back and forth. I found out stuff about her that I did not know.
Really?
And it was weird. It was super weird.
Who have I been married to
for
20
real?
Years?
You're going to learn unexpected things. You're going to build deeper and stronger relationships like humans, together, in a room. Not like weirdos or robots. Not even like ChatGPT. It's just, listen, it's just humans talking to people. And while you're working on building your relationships, maybe you also need help with other things holding you back from your goals. You can pick up my latest book, Own Your Past, Change Your Future, and learn steps to how to deal with old hurts and ask yourself that terrifying question. What are we going to do next? All right. So go to RamseySolutions.com/store to get Questions for Humans and Own Your Past, Change Your Future today. All right. Let's go to Janelle in Tacoma, Washington. What's up, Janelle?
Hi.
What's up?
Not a whole lot. I'm doing pretty well. How are you guys?
Excellent. So what's up? How can we help?
So I kind of have we've paused the baby steps because we found out that we were pregnant.
Yay!
All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so we were starting on baby step 3B. We completed 3 in October, and so we've been piling up money. And I find myself feeling like I want to keep moving forward, but we're in a pause. And so just kind of want to make sure that we're doing things kind of in the right order, I guess.
Yeah, it's a great question. We usually, honestly, Janelle, say to pause baby steps 1 through 3. So you guys are on 3B. Okay. So, I mean, if you want to just you're going to keep piling up money. Do you have the cash for the down payment in 3B?
Not yet. No, that's where we were starting. We were starting to save that up.
Okay, perfect. So either way, you're just saving money, right? You could quote unquote say we're pausing and just piling up money, but also you're not going to probably get your down payment in the next few months, right?
No, probably not.
It'll be after the baby comes is when mathematically.
It'll be after the baby comes.
Perfect. So either way, it's just you're just naming it something different, right? So you could quote unquote say we're pausing and just piling up money, or you could just say we're just piling up money for baby step 3B, which is what you're doing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I guess so.
Because either way, you're piling up money. So
you can rob from the 3B fund if it gets to it, right?
Yeah. If something happens and you need some extra cash, yes, you could take from the 3B fund for sure.
And for everybody listening,
but it's okay to label it as 3B.
Yes, you're doing great.
Janelle, you are awesome. When are you due?
Due in June.
Awesome. Is it what number is this for you guys?
This is our first.
Oh, congratulations.
I was about to say, this has to be your first because it's like, what do we label the envelope? Yes.
Yeah, we're like super planners, both me and my husband. He's more of the geek, but it's nice.
That's so great.
Hey,
so great.
The beautiful thing about having a kid is for super planners is you get to learn how your plans don't matter. Kids don't care about your plans.
When you think you have control over life, have a kid. You'd be like, wow, I really don't.
And if you think I remember when Hank was born after about 3 or 4 years, my arrogance was so insane. I told my wife, I was like, what are we doing? We're amazing at parents. Everyone else is terrible. Everyone else is like sucks at this.
And then the second one came.
And then Josephine shows up, and I was like, I don't know what we're doing. Like this is I don't.
Oh, our first Amelia. I think I was like, should I write a parenting book?
I told my wife, I was like, why are we professors? We should just write our books and go on the road to teach how to parent.
We're so good at this. And then number 2 comes,
Josephine
which I can say I'm the number 2 of the family.
I am too.
So we can speak for those middle kids. Oh man, I know. So
I was wrong. All right, let's go to Craig in West Palm Beach.
Craig, we're coming to you. But real quick, for the listeners out there. So yes, when you're doing the baby steps, we do say pause your debt snowball. If you're paying off debt and you have a big life change, whether it's a big move, a job change, you're pregnant, anything like that, you can pause your debt snowball and pile up cash to make sure you have a good big pile of cash in the bank for those big transitions. And then after it happens, after you have the baby, mom's home, baby's home, everyone's good. Press play, take that cash, and throw it at the debt snowball. So that's what that's what she was asking.
All right, now we'll go to Craig in West Palm Beach. What's up, Craig? How we doing?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. What's up?
So we have a mortgage at 3% fixed. There's about $123,000 left on it, and I also have student loans of about $49,000 locked in at 1.75%. And my wife and I make about $160 total, and so I noticed that we're salarying out, I guess, or whatever you want to say, with the taxes, the tax benefit of deductible interest for the student loans. And I'm wondering, what is smarter to put any extra money that I can find toward to try and pay down, or does it matter?
I would take my notes and my spreadsheets on the interest rate differentials, and I would flush them down the toilet.
Okay.
I would not look at that one more time. I would just simply look at, I owe the government money. I need to get that paid off. And then I've got to pay my house off. I got to get an emergency fund. I'm going to pay my house off. And with the money you guys make,
some emergency fund.
How much do you have
in the roof?
How much do you have in that?
Roof. Well, we don't have the new roof yet. It's got to come up, and we're getting estimates around $30,000.
How much is in your emergency fund?
We're doing okay. We've probably got about, honestly, like 35, 40.
Okay.
But we've been saving very hard because we knew the new roof was going to be a problem. It's Florida. The homeowners insurance and everything just went up too. So
yeah, of course,
we're kind of okay-ish. This one's going to hurt.
Yeah.
And we'll start saving again. But I just want to know, like, I've got to do something. My daughter's 14 and she's going to be going to college pretty soon. And
yeah.
We're going to have to do that, and we can't afford to
for
have
sure. So, Craig,
all of this.
Yeah. So, is the student loans, is that the only other debt you guys have?
Yeah, cars are paid off.
Great.
No credit cards.
So we always kind of lump in consumer debt to paying that off first, and then after the roof is gone, I would bump up your emergency fund to 3 to 6 months of expenses. And then, are you guys saving for retirement?
Yeah, we are saving. Like we do the Roth IRA every night. I don't think I put anything in last year.
Okay. Well, I would honestly, I would pause that, Craig. Yeah, just pause for a year or two or not even a year. I mean, just a year probably. You'll get this $49,000 paid off quick if you guys really take your income and say, hey, we're going to live on nothing, and put all of it towards the student loan. Pause retirement. Pause everything until the student loan is knocked out. Once it's knocked out, then that's when you bump up that emergency fund, and then press play on your investments and say, okay, yeah, we're going to go back to invest 15% of our income into retirement. And then your daughter's college comes next after that.
Okay.
So that's the order. That's called the baby steps. If you hold on the line, Jenna will pick up, and we're going to give you guys a membership to Financial Peace University for a year. And this is a great class to go through. Craig, are you married?
I am, yes.
Great.
24 years.
Perfect. Okay, so you and your wife sit down and go through this class because in a 2-minute radio call, we can only just give you that information really quickly. But I want you guys to absorb this because it's a proven plan that you guys are perfect for it because it's exactly everything you're wanting to do and doing it in the right order with the goal of at the end being debt-free, controlling your money and building wealth and being generous. And the quickest way from point A to point B to do that is the baby steps. And so you'll learn all of that in Financial Peace University. So thanks for calling.
All right, we'll be right back right here on The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined here by bestselling author Rachel Cruz. Give us a call at 888-825-5225. All right, Rachel, I know you know this because we talk about this off air a lot. I am a huge consumer of TikTok and YouTube, particularly viral videos.
You love the viral video.
I love TikTok sensations. And so there's one making the rounds right now with Sebastian Georgiou, that's right. 25-year-old finance YouTuber. Just that phrase didn't exist like 3 years ago into all of human history. A 25-year-old finance YouTuber told his followers they should be able to easily afford a $200,000 car. He called it literally pocket change.
I think we have a clip for it.
We're going to show the clip? Okay, let's show the clip. Let's roll it.
If you're a guy in your 20s and you don't have a Lamborghini, you should actually sit down and have like a serious discussion with yourself as to why you don't have a Lambo.
Yep.
Because I realize now that it's so incredibly easy and there's so much money out there, and 200 grand relative to what is out there in circulation and what you can grab, especially now with AI tools that you can leverage like never before, 200 grand is chump change.
200 grand is chump change, which, as you can imagine, he's just gotten blasted. For being a privileged whatever. Turns out his parents immigrated to this country when they were teenagers. He was raised on a very low income and worked at Taco Bell. He is literally if his story is to be believed, earned this money.
Yeah,
right?
Self-made and literally started from nothing and probably in the tech world, whatever he's doing job-wise, I don't even know. Has made this. Okay, so I have like just polar opposite reactions in my head.
I do too.
Because at first I'm like, dude, like who, what? No.
Yeah.
Like that's not chump change. Like $200,000. Because you look at what the average American spends. I mean, we deal with, everyday people on the show and it's like, man, they're living paycheck to paycheck and all of it. So
household incomes of 60 to 70,000.
Yeah, that's like my first reaction. But then you hear a story and you're like, man, immigrants that come to this country, they say, build wealth, and I don't have the stat right, but I think it's like 5 times faster if they come legally versus just someone that's born here in the States.
What? Yeah.
Because that's the other argument is I'm like, okay, so he sees opportunity. He sees
it everywhere.
Everywhere. And he's like, how could you not be making so much money? Because there is so much out there
to be made. Yeah.
To be made. And there's so much opportunity. Of course you're going to be making a ton because you can, right? Like that's his mindset.
So when I worked in universities for all those years, all my international students, I would always like do sessions and we would hang out, we'd have lunch together, and they were part of my classes. It was always amazing to me how the international students that came in, they were so wide-eyed with opportunity. They just saw it everywhere. Yep. It was wild. And they inspired in me. I remember 10, 15 years ago, you're missing this whole thing, right? You are so focused on getting this one job with this one salary so that you can meet some sort of internal. And I was just missing opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And so it inspired me years ago that they just gave me a new set of glasses with which to see the world. Right. And so I see this, and you got a guy whose parents immigrated over here as teenagers, grew up with almost nothing. And now, yes, I would tell him if he was my friend, don't say that out loud, right?
I know.
Don't say that out loud.
I sound like a tool.
You sound like an idiot. But also, man, if you were able to sit down and see the world and say, there's so much opportunity, what do you, like, get up and go find the opportunity, go make it happen, go make it happen, go make it happen.
It's inspiring. I mean, in that sense, right? And again, I hate that a Lambo was his example. I wish it was like, go get a $200,000 house, or like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Something that feels a little bit.
Don't give $200,000 away, but it's
but the sentiment
out there
is interesting. I mean, it's inspiring. I mean, when you think about it that way, you're like, man, what else could I be doing? But I think too, we can get in that mindset of like, just pile up money, make more. But there is more to life than just that equation,
absolutely,
right?
Yeah.
And so all that plays in as well. So there's many different angles to this.
I think this kind of story for me is as important as somebody like Cam Hanes or David Goggins, somebody who's running marathons every day or running 200-mile races, whatever. The average person's not going to do that. But when you have these pace setters out there who are doing these amazing things, it makes me, when I want to skip my 30-minute workout or my 60-minute workout in the morning because I don't feel like it or I'm too tired, or I can't today, I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Or I just can't get ahead. It's just too hard. I just can't find the job. Yeah, you can. Right. There is opportunity somewhere. And it might be doing stuff you don't like working at Taco Bell. I spent 4 years at Burger King. Like, it's not it wasn't my dream job.
Yeah.
Man, I learned a lot of great lessons and learned how to love and take care of people, even while asking them, would you like fries with that? Right. And so, it just reminds me of that abundance, scarcity mindset, man. Yep. It's just everywhere. And if you change that mindset, it doesn't solve your problems. Money doesn't go in your bank account, but you begin to look at the world a little bit.
What is it, Henry Ford? If you think you can, if you think you can't,
you can.
You can. Or it is what it is, right? So like what you believe, does have fruition in your life. I mean, there is power to that. So
you got to go make it happen. So
yeah, that's great.
Anyway, Sebastian, just in the future, just don't get on the internet and tell people that $200,000 pocket change. And thank you for inspiring us to see the world a little bit differently, that there's opportunity everywhere. All right, let's go to Zach in Shreveport. What's up, Zach?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it. What's up, dude?
Hey, so I'll start with my question, and then I'll give you a little bit of background. So my main question is, am I putting too much money towards baby step 6? So me and my wife, we combined after taxes make about $130 a year. Our mortgage, so we're completely debt free. So we're 4, 5, and 6 right now, and our mortgage is about $1,700 a month, and only about $400 of that is going towards principal every month. So I've been trying to put as much money as I can towards the mortgage, anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 extra a month. And so my question is, should I be kind of not putting that all towards that and putting it maybe a little bit more towards, something like fund money or, maybe upgrading my wife's car in the next year or so?
Probably all the above, Zach. I mean, in a way. So are you guys, we say baby steps 4 through 6 is kind of just that, like, okay, yeah, you can take your foot off the gas and just breathe a little bit. And that's when margin comes back in. But I also think it's very dependent on the couple's personality. There are some couples we meet and they're like, I don't need any lifestyle. I don't need to up my lifestyle at all. Like we're good. We could still just live how we're living and throw extra at the house, get it paid off crazy soon. And we're happy with that. Some people are like, oh, thank God I'm out of baby step 3. And like, finally we get to plan a vacation and enjoy life and we'll pay down the mortgage and we're working on that. So where would you guys be on that spectrum, Zach? Just as from a personal note, you and your wife.
Yeah, I'd say we're kind of in between. I think I was always kind of, wanting to buy new things until I actually found you guys. I sold my Camaro, and so I've totally changed my outlook on money. And I think my wife is very much on board. And so, we live well below our means, but I want to be able to put money towards the car, but I guess maybe it's an emotional and mental thing inside of me that's, seeing $1,000 every month going towards interest on the mortgage, and it just kills me.
Yeah, I hear that totally. Is the car, is it needing to be replaced, or you guys just want to upgrade because you can?
Yeah, so she's got a Prius, so it's got 170,000 miles on it, so it's it's getting up there, but it's still running great. So eventually we'll want to upgrade our car, and we're actually putting money into a separate fund specifically for that.
Okay. Well, Zach, if from what I got with the math, you could have this paid off in 18 months.
Yeah, go pretty quick.
So I would just go ahead and pay it off, do what you're doing, and then go back and say, hey, let's replace the car and everything after the mortgage is paid off. But
that's what
either way, you're good. But you can do it.
Yeah, I'm worried about debt. So anyway, hey, this is another hour in the books. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you guys in the booth. And thank you, Jenna. Hey, thank you, America, for listening. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's Rachel Cruz. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studio, it's The Ramsey Show, where America hangs out to have a conversation about your money, your marriage, your work, your life. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Rachel Cruz, best-selling author and good friend, and we are taking your calls on just about everything. 888-825-5225. It's 888-825-5225. Let's go out to Gabriel in Pensacola. What's up, Gabriel? How we doing?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good, man. What's up? How can we help?
Good, thank you. So I am on baby step 2. I am just over $5,000 left to pay off, but I'm starting college in the fall, and I wasn't able to get any scholarships or anything, so my only option at the moment, at least that I know of, is to go in more debt to actually go to school. So I was wondering what you guys recommend to do.
Not that.
Gabriel, how old are you?
I'm 21.
21, okay.
What are you studying?
I'm going for worship ministries.
Okay. How much is the school you're going to per semester?
It's $10,000 a year.
$10,000 a year. Okay, so $5,000. How much do you make a year?
Just over 30 to like 35.
Okay.
I'm not really sure exactly yet.
Okay, perfect. So, Gabriel, what you're going to do is get another job, make some extra, and cash flow that $5,000 for the fall semester.
Or you're going to not sit out the fall semester, and it's just called deferred enrollment. It's just think of it. We think of like college as.
But you're starting in the fall. He's got till Jane. You have like 9 months, don't you, Gabriel?
No, I'm just saying if you don't make it, then you don't make it, right?
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair.
There's this idea of. Let me just say this out front: do not go into debt for a worship ministry degree. Okay.
Okay.
What I'm telling you
sink in
on the back
for any
end,
reason.
Any reason.
But also when you know your future's working at a church or a nonprofit, right? Like
you are unable to say, "Hey, this is wrong," or "I'm uncomfortable with this," because you have to make payments to somebody else, right? You trap yourself. And I'm just telling you from a guy who got a lot of student loans, the backside of this is not, it just takes your soul from you, man. And I'm also not one of those, dude, I am all in on higher ed. Like that was my career. I love working at universities. I think they serve a great public good. So I'm not even going to bash them. I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up. And so Rachel's right. If you really want to go, look at this like a car or a guitar or a new set of pedals. If you don't have the money, you don't just borrow it. You just don't buy it. So figure out a way between now and then that I'm going to save up this money and make it happen.
Yeah, Gabriel, it's almost this mindset. It's this game you play where you're like, no, you said my only option is taking out debt. Well, that's not an option. So just take that away and say, okay, so now what do I need to do to get $5,000 by the fall? And that's the great thing about it. It's $5,000. You can do that.
Go get it, man.
If you were talking about $30,000 for some, a private university or something, we would have for sure the deferment conversation and say, you'll probably have to wait out a year. You're going to pile up a bunch of money. You're going to apply next year for scholarship. It would be, so I'm thankful that it's not very expensive, but you have the time 100% to save up and pay for this thing. I mean,
and I'd also go sit down with the church where I lead worship now and say, I'm asking for you guys to invest in me in the same way I'm investing in you, and see if they would help out as well.
Yeah.
Often employers will help with extra education benefits if you sit down and ask them. So I would do that, man. But hey, I love that you said that. Take debt off the table. It's not the only option. It's not an option at all. What is an option is working really, really hard, working several jobs, getting work study programs, getting a job on campus, asking your church.
Yeah, working for the college, even
working for the university.
Yes,
there's a 50 different options.
Because Gabriel, I'm telling you, 25-year-old Gabriel is going to be like, yes, 21-year-old Gabriel sacrificed, worked extra, paid his way through, but now I have the option to go take a job, any job I want, right? So if a church is paying you less, but it's the church you really want to go work for after you graduate, you get to, because you don't have bills, you don't have debt.
Owe anybody money.
Yeah. So it frees up so much. So your future self, he's going to be thankful. I'm telling you.
And I may have bought a guitar or two myself with student loan money.
Student loans?
So just don't do it, man. Just don't do it. All right, let's go to Natalie in Kansas City. What's up, Natalie? How we doing?
John, hi, Rachel. Thanks for taking my call today. It's a pleasure to speak with you.
You got
Absolutely.
it. What's up?
Well, my question is, we are on baby step 3, and we have about $2,000 to $3,000 set aside in a separate savings account. We have about $20,000 in several different mutual funds that are non-retirement. One is just the general account for my husband and I, and then the 3 others are set up for our kids' future with what they want to do with it whenever they do or do not go to college. And my question is, should we take some of that out right now to build up to our $20,000 for our goal of 6 months of expenses for emergencies? Or since the market's kind of down right now and I keep hearing it's basically on sale, should we just leave it in there and just work on cash flowing up to our emergency fund goal?
Yeah, it's a great question. How much do you guys make a year?
We about 65 to 70,000.
Okay. just in pure Ramsey gazelle mode, baby steps 1 through 3, it's like all hands on deck, everything. And we say cash out non-retirement investments specifically to pay off debt. And then when you guys are here for the emergency funds, that's a real option. So it's really for you guys what you want to decide. Okay, do we want to wait another probably 5-6 months to build this thing up, or today? Do we want to cash it out, put it aside, and then start working on retirement? So, I mean, honestly, Natalie, if I were you, I would want to keep making progress and movement. And because you're not going to be penalized because it's not retirement, they're non-retirement accounts.
Correct.
I know it hurts to be like, man, it's on a down market. So you could even maybe split it 50-50 and say, hey, let's take some out. And then say, in the next 3-4 months is our goal to have our fully funded emergency fund. You could do that as well. So it's how gazelle intense you want to be.
Okay. All right. Perfect. I was just curious about that. So thank you so much.
For whatever it's worth, Natalie, if you and I, if I was traded places with you, I would do that. I bought a new house, I guess I'm 2.5 years in now, and it wasn't a brand new house. It was new to me, and had a great inspection and everything was good. And since then I've had to replace a deck and a roof and a front porch and an air conditioner. I would like to have that emergency fund full. I'd rather have the emergency fund full now
than have investments in.
Having investments for whatever my kids want to do in 5 or 10 or 15 years. So that's just me. That's what I would do. You can use that for whatever it's worth. Hey, we'll be right back right here on The Ramsey Show. This is The Ramsey Show. I'm John Deloney, joined here by Rachel Cruz. Give us a shout at 888-825-5225. My two best buddies on the planet, John King and Todd, showed up today to see me. And my wife surprised me for Christmas. As my Christmas present, she flew my buddies in. So it's good to see you guys. It's making my heart full. You're so good fun. Friends, dude. I know.
You should have them on. They should come in here.
I think that would be a terrible idea.
Tell a few stories about
I think
Deloney.
we will. Dave worked really hard to get this show off the ground and running over 30 years, and we can end it really, really quickly. Let's go out to Devin in Seattle, Washington. What's up, Devin?
Yeah, we are moving in June, and I'm a little stressed because it's the first time we are moving from an owned house to buying a new house. And the thought of going back there multiple times to try and find a house is what really kind of stresses me out. So my thought was, would it make sense for us to sell our house here and then rent an Airbnb out there for a month while we're looking for a new house?
I've done that. Or even better, rent an apartment or a house for 6 months and get to know the traffic patterns and the layout and who lives where and what neighborhoods are up and coming and what schools and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, renting in general, Devin, I think is a great plan, especially in a new city for what John just said. I would look at what's most economical, right? If it's apartments, an Airbnb maybe,
maybe expensive.
You'll need to price it out, but renting in general for a year, I think is wise. It's actually what we recommend people do because you're going to learn the city and just what John said, you're going to have to figure out, okay, where do we want to be versus just doing a trip here or there and trying to just pick something.
Where are you moving? Well, that's the thing. We're moving back home. So this is
so you know the area.
Yeah. I spent 30 years there, so I know the area really well. That's the thing is, because we're trying to decide that, and we're also trying to decide if we want to get like a small mortgage because we'll have a huge down payment coming in, and it's like, do we buy a cheaper house with cash or buy a nicer house that we'd stay in longer and get a smaller mortgage? So it's just all of that stuff has been kind of stressful on us.
So when my wife and I moved from Texas to Nashville, I was terrible. We didn't do it well, and I take full ownership of that. I would tell you and your wife to sit down and write down on a piece of paper the points that are stressing you out the most, and the ones that you can put off for 2 or 3 months after you get there and get settled and let everything exhale and you get through the closing of your house and all the stuff in the boxes and get it shipped out, all that stuff. Get that done, man. And if it gives your family, you and your wife, peace to have a place that you walk into and someone hands you the keys and you're only going to move once and this is your home, do that too. The key is to write this stuff down and get it out of your heads, because she's going to have a picture of what this looks like. You're going to have a picture of what this looks like. And that misalignment is what's going to cause so much chaos. And it's going to heighten the stress. It's going to amplify stress that's not really there. Okay. And so whatever your decision is, if I'm you, I would do exactly what you just said. I would call somebody with Airbnb and say, I'll rent it out for the whole month for this price. Will you take it? And they'll probably say yes, because then they don't have to turn it over 4 times. And then you can go, check mark. And then get your stuff sent to a storage space for 60 days. And then you and your wife can figure out where you're going to move. That's what I would do.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, thanks. It's been one of those things where it's like, technically that increases the price of the home by, a couple $1,000s. And
there is no price on soul tax, brother. Like, I would rather pay a couple $1,000 extra dollars and be able to breathe and still be married.
It's a good point.
Yeah. And Devin, remember, buying a home, for most people, it's the largest financial investment that you're going to make. So any amount of just like taking a deep breath, slowing down, you're good. If you can have a little bit of margin in that space, even if it's for that month, it's going to be worth it because you're good. You guys are wise. You're smart. You sound like you're on top of it. You know what you're doing. So yeah, just taking a little bit of time is totally fine, especially with you're not buying a $5,000 used Honda, right? I mean, like this is a home. So it's like, you want to take your time with it and make sure that it's exactly what you guys want. Mathematically, it works in all of it. You're going to have more peace when you just slow down.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for your advice.
Absolutely. Thanks for calling.
Man. All right, let's go to, you know what, Rachel, you had something go viral on Instagram the other day. Tell me about it. Oh, yeah, I did a reel, where you dub your voiceover. You're talking to me like I'm 7.
No, I'm trying to get the words where I'm like, I don't even know what it's called.
I don't know how the internets work, Rachel. Is it called dubbing?
I don't know. And it was a Taylor Swift song. It says horrified looks from everyone in the room. Mm-hmm. And then you put on the reel, what is the thing you say that people just look at you crazy? So I put, of course, when you get married, combine checking accounts, because it's the one piece of advice I put out there and everyone's like, oh my gosh. And of course, everyone's like, oh my gosh. And they got so mad. Do we have the clip, James? Oh, there's no sound. Oh, they can't do it for licensing reasons. Oh, man. Okay.
T-Swift will come after you.
Yeah. Sorry, T-Swift. Don't want to mess with you. You're good. Go on tour, T-Swift. Don't worry about me. But
she's not.
Yeah, she's not worried about me. But yeah, the hate is the despise of this piece of advice is still out there, John. I mean, and it always will be.
When you say it out loud, what's like, and you have tons of women who follow you, like hundreds of thousands. They literally come after you.
They're
all Team Rachel until you say you need to share your accounts.
They get so mad. So the one is a very more fear-based, but is a reality for a lot of people, is divorce. That if you combine all of your money, he can take it all, and then you have nothing. You have no autonomy, you have nothing. So it's this future fear of if a divorce. And then the other one is, we just fought all the time. So now that we have separate accounts, we don't fight anymore. And I'm like, yeah, because you're not talking about it.
Yeah, you just duct tape over the cancer and let it.
I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh. So those people, I'm like, okay, the fight you're avoiding is the fight you need to have.
Right.
That's what you should be fighting. You're just sweeping it under the rug. And so what is under that? So that's always my push. And so the quote unquote easy way out is just I'll just have my money. He has his money. And we can just live our separate lives financially and just go. We don't have to ever have a hard conversation about it. There's never going to be conflict. We're going to just run these two lanes. And, and you know this, John. I mean, you have even all the studies on it. But when you combine your finances, it's more than just combining bank accounts. It is combining your life. You are saying to someone, I am with you in this marriage, that we are one in every aspect of our lives, including our money. And so
you have to have the conversation about who are we going to be.
Yeah.
Where do we want to live? What kind of life do we want to have? Where are we going to go on vacation? What kind of cars are we going to drive? What do we want for our children? Or do we want to not have children? You have to have all those conversations. And if you keep separate lives, you're just glorified roommates who hook up, right? I mean, you're just not in this thing together.
No. Yeah. And
there's the research data came out that
couples are happier.
That suggests couples are happier when they're all on the same page. And it's like, duh, right? It's like, no kidding.
Well, we've said before, like, if you can share a bed and share genetics with your
if you could grow a kid
running around, you should be able to share your money. And I get that it's hard, and I get that, opposites attract and all of it. And of course, the asterisk is always, if you are in
an abusive relationship
or there's an addiction, I mean, if there's something there that you need to protect yourself, that is one thing.
Right.
But for a majority of couples out there, it's just this whole idea of, I'm just going to have mine, he's going to have his, and we're going to just run these two separate lives. And it trickles down into your marriage. You know what I mean? Like, you are a whole person. You don't just have the money side of you. The way you operate and the way you think and make decisions is in every part of your marriage, and that includes your money. So being unified is so key. And the couples that win long-term with money and win faster are couples that say, we are a team.
Yeah.
We're going to work together.
I love it, love it, love it. At 888-825-5225, if you're mad at Rachel because she just told you to combine your income, give us a shout, and we will tell you that you're wrong. We'll be right back. Anytime the price of eggs is making headlines, you know you're dealing with a wacky economy. Rachel, guess what we have at our house?
Chickens.
Yeah, I'm not going to flex that we're rich, but we have lots of eggs.
Yep. You're one of those.
The chickens are crushing. But even news about layoffs, chicken prices, on again, off again, recession, crazy high interest rates are no reason to give up on your money goals. We're here to give you a plan for your money. Join us on the Building Wealth live tour as we show you how to build wealth and, drumroll please, and keep it. Join Dave Ramsey, George Camel, Rachel Cruz, and Jade Warshaw in Indianapolis on February 16th. Then Dave, Ken Coleman, me, and Jade Warshaw in Austin on February 23rd. And then we're going to go to Salt Lake City with Dave Ramsey, George Camel, Rachel Cruz, and Christina Ellis. And finally, we will close out the tour in beautiful Anaheim on May 2nd with Dave Ramsey, Ken, me, and Christina Ellis. Tickets start at $49, or you can get a 4-pack of tickets starting at $175. There's going to be programs that had going on beforehand. Me and Ken do our show live. I think, Rachel, you and George, y'all going to do Smart Money Happy Hour?
There's a chance. Depends on the venue, but yes,
very cool.
Possibly. Yep.
It's just going to be, it's so fun.
It's fun.
It's just
great.
mayhem.
And these events in the fall, they sold out completely.
They sold out.
Selling out. Yeah, it's happening. The traction is picking up on tickets, so make sure to get them if you're in these cities, or travel to the cities too.
And they get off the rails when we all get together at the end. Yeah. So it's a lot of fun. Go to RamseySolutions.com/events to reserve your seats for Building Wealth Live. Let's go out to Alex in the NYC. What's up, Alex?
Hey, how's it going, John? How's it going, Rachel? Thank you so much for having me.
You got it, man. What's up?
So this time last year, I decided that I needed to make some spending habit changes, and I decided to start paying off some credit cards. I have a total of 10. I paid off 8 I have 2 left. A little bit disappointed that a few of them are still on my credit. But my question is, while I was doing that, I was saving money. And just last month, I put $6,500 on a CD. And I also have $5,000 cash. And I'm not sure if I'm doing the right thing with this money that I put aside. Do you guys have any suggestions?
How much do you have in credit cards on those last 2 credit cards?
I have about $2,400.
Okay, so
total.
If I were you, Alex, I would cash out the CD and I would pay off the credit cards today. I would take the remaining money that you have and I would just put it in a good money market account and start building up your emergency fund of 3 to 6 months of expenses. And that's going to be your jump start to doing that. And then your next step will be to start investing 15% of your income into retirement. So for CDs, there's just no, rate of return.
Dave calls them certificates of depreciation.
Of depreciation,
right?
I know. Well, most of the time they don't even keep up with inflation. So, yeah.
And I just opened a money market account at 4% the other day.
Yes.
Just the other day. It was
so money market
3.9 or something. It was great.
Yes. And, and I would get a money market account with check writing privileges, quote unquote is what they're called. So you'll get a debit card with it. So you can do usually up to like 3 transactions a month if you ever need to dip into it. But hopefully you won't have to because it's just for your emergency fund and hopefully you won't have to touch it. And then I would start investing. But I think it's, you did a great job of just putting some money aside. I just think you can put this money to better use than it just sitting in a CD.
Alex, can I ask you, what made you not pay off the remaining 2 credit cards and put this money in a CD?
Well, when I looked back at my credit and I saw that all the payment, like the credit cards that I paid were still on there, I was just like, this is kind of pointless. So I kind of slowed down a lot with that.
Don't let somebody else's paperwork problems keep you chained up. Okay? Like at this point, you've decided you're not going to borrow money anymore, so your credit score is kind of useless because all your credit score is it's a dating score for your relationship with debt, and you broke up with debt. You're done. So I wouldn't lose any sleep. Maybe look at that in a year.
Okay.
But I wouldn't let that, like they're taking too long to roll their stuff off or they're going to roll off in 90 days or whatever their policies are. Who cares, dude? I'm not letting them guide my decisions. And especially I'm not going to. Here's the way I'll ask it the way Dave would ask it. Would you ever go to your credit card and pull $6,500 off of a credit card? Like get cash advance on a credit card and put that in a CD?
No.
Okay, pay your CD off. Pay your credit card off.
Okay, and then with the $5,000 cash that I have, should I just leave it in my savings, my regular savings account?
That's what Rachel was talking about.
Yeah, I would put that in the money market account as well.
Oh, money market. Okay,
yep.
Okay.
I mean, have some buffer in your checking account, you know, because you have that margin there. So have a little bit of buffer there. But I would put everything into just a money market account and start building up that 3 to 6 months of expenses for an emergency fund.
Very cool, man. All right, let's go out to Lorena in Toronto. What's up, Lorena?
Hi. Thank you for taking my call.
You got it. What's up?
So I've been listening to you guys for the last 2 months. I'm in baby step number 2. Our taken pay is $8,000 a month. Now, my husband thinks that he should have $100 allowance a week. What do you guys think about that?
What do we think
You're
about
bringing
that?
us into a fist fight, man. Real cool. What do you think about that?
Okay, here's the rule of thumb when it comes to baby step 2. The deeper you are willing to sacrifice your lifestyle, the faster you're going to get out of debt. So he wants $100 a week. How much debt do you guys have?
$73,000.
Okay.
And that's consumer debt. That's not including our house.
That's not including your house. Okay. Yes.
And how much do you make a year?
Well, him?
No, both of you.
Both of you combined is $160. As you know, Canada has a lot of taxes.
So you bring home $8,000. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically,
you only bring home $8,000 after $160?
Yeah.
Oh, my sister. Okay, sorry. It breaks my heart.
So basically, I want you guys to look and say, okay, that's an extra $5,000 a year that could be going towards paying off our debts, right? So, and people talk about, do we put a little bit of money in out to eat? Do we still kind of do some stuff? So the people that are just gazelle intense, and that's where we lean, where we're like, get this debt out. You sacrifice your lifestyle. There is no just, we're going to just go have some fun. No. It is so intense. You're cutting out everything. Everything is laser focused, and you go for a short amount of time, right? I mean, you guys will be able to get this paid off, within probably 18 months-ish. And so being able to look and see.
Maybe 30 months, yeah.
Yeah, but be able to map it out, though, and then say, okay, what if we took on extra income, an extra job, and made some more? So I want you guys to really flesh out these numbers, because where it's just like, it's just $100 a week. Pan that out to say, okay, what is this really going to cost us in the long run? And be realistic, though, about your budget, too. That is one thing. Some people that get so gazelle intense, are like, we're only going to spend $28 on groceries a month and something. And you're like, no. You got to be realistic about your life. You want your budget to work for you. So
your kids are eating raw spaghetti.
Yeah. So be realistic, but $100 a month for fun money is not gazelle intense.
Or it's $400 a month for fun money. That's.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, $100. I'm sorry, a week. Yes, $400. Yep.
And let me say this, Lorena, if you and him sit down and say, hey, we're going to forego quote unquote fun money, and we're going to make lunches here at the house. You're going to have to tell your buddies at work. And I did this years ago. I would just take my lunch when my buddies went to get chips and queso or something. I would take my lunch with me, which was embarrassing and absurd. And by the way, when they were my good friends, nobody said anything. I mean, it was just is what it was. You're going to find that he's going to get frustrated, and he can channel that frustration getting a third job, getting a fourth job. Like, I'm sick of living like this, so I'm going to accelerate. I'm going to go make more money then. Fine. I'm not going to just kind of settle in. I'm going to go get rid of this debt so I don't have to live on $100 a week allowance, man. It's a short 18 to 24 to 36 month pain point, man, to live the rest of your life with peace. We'll be right back on The Ramsey Show.
Welcome back, America, to The Ramsey Show. I'm Ken Coleman. George Camel joins me this hour. The phone number to jump in is 888-825-5225. Our scripture of the day comes from Colossians 4:2. Devote yourselves to prayer, keeping alert in it with an attitude of thanksgiving. Our quote is from Tony Dungy. Even though we can't always choose our circumstances, we can always choose our attitude in the circumstances. This weekend in the Ramsey newsletter, we've got an article about how marketing offers and one-time deals could be money traps. Well, that feels like George Camel-inspired content
right up my alley.
There. While these big promotions may sound like a good way to save money in the moment, the word free is very tempting. It's most likely a money trap. Say it's not so, George.
Oh, it's so, Ken.
Some money traps may be more obvious than others, like timeshares, but some traps may be a bit more sneaky, like no money down plans. Listen, we've all been stupid with money, which is why we've listed 10 money traps for you to avoid in this weekend's edition of the Ramsey newsletter. Simply sign up at RamseySolutions.com/newsletter to subscribe to our Sunday newsletter to get the full list. That is RamseySolutions.com/newsletter.
It's like getting the Sunday paper. But it's free and in your inbox.
George, did your dad ever get the Sunday paper?
Oh, yeah. I'd sit there, I'd go through the catalogs, I'd print out coupons. It was a joy.
Yeah, I will tell you that it was only about 6 or 7 years ago that I finally got rid of my Sunday newspaper.
I could see you in the bathrobe pulling out the old paper,
really
4 feet wide.
Really enjoyed all the sections. Really enjoyed it. And I used to get the USA Today delivered to my driveway. And I would slink out in the full body length robe. We don't want to offend any neighbors. and grab it, and it had all 4 sections.
Yeah, you can't show off those chicken legs too early, Ken.
No,
that's an HOA violation.
It's a bit much for anybody to handle. So, but anyway, missed that. When did it just become not a thing anymore?
I don't know. Are there still paper boys doing their routes at 4 a.m.? Is
I
that still
imagine.
a thing?
I don't even know if there's still a Sunday paper.
It still exists.
I got some research to do. Megan joins us in Tallahassee, Florida. Megan, how can we help?
Hey, y'all.
Hey, what's up?
So my question is, I am currently in what I thought was my dream job, and whenever I was going to school for it, I loved it. I was excelling, all that good stuff. I graduated 4.0 GPA. So anyway, I'm in the job right now. I've had it for about 6-7 months, and I just feel like I'm kind of going through the motions now and making like mistakes in my job that I shouldn't be, and just kind of feeling like, is this the job that I should have? And then on top of that, like the company, I work for a hospital, and it just feels like they're more about the, getting money than like patient care.
Well, that's probably true, sadly. What is the job? What is the dream job?
A certified medical coder.
And so this is what you went to school for. You enjoyed learning and getting qualified for it. And for a season, you really enjoyed it.
Yes.
But you've only been doing it 6 or 7 months. So I'm not trying to pick at you. I'm just truly curious. At what point did it become yuck and suck instead of yay?
I feel like maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, whenever I kept like being like, oh yes, I can take on more work. I'll take on more work. I can do it.
Aha. So
yes.
Now we figured it out. Megan, you still enjoy the work, but too much of any one thing is awful. If I ate steak every day, 3 times a day, it wouldn't take long for me to hate steak. Am I right?
Yes.
All right. So you have not created a boundary for yourself in your desire to please. You're also brand new, right out of college. You've been in the job for just a few months, and they keep piling on, and you keep saying, yes, I can do it. Yes, I can do it. And now you're at the point where you're going, Ken, I can't do it anymore. So, all right, great. So here's the point. I wanted to get clear, and you get clear on what's really going on. You don't all of a sudden hate the dream job. You aren't all of a sudden missing details because you just don't have it anymore. You're overwhelmed, sweetheart.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yes.
I mean, listen, it's literally like trying to get a drink from a fire hydrant when a fireman opens that thing up and that water's just streaming out. You're not getting a sip of water. It's just too much. Try not to drown, right?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what we have to do. You're going to have to do what very few people have the courage to do, and that is go to your leader and go, hey, I said yes, I can do it. And I said yes, I can do it too many times. And I went to school for this. I love this work, but this is on me. I said yes that I can do it, and I took off too much. In other words, I went to the buffet and I got too much food on the plate and I can't eat it. I can't do it. I need your help.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Yes, I definitely need to do that.
Now, come up with a solution. So when you go back to them, you have to say, I took on this much more work, and you know what that is. I don't. And you got to say, I need to cut back on this much. Like I said yes here, here, and here, and I shouldn't have. So I need to make sure we give this work to somebody else because I want to keep doing this. I want to do a good job. And they need you. You got it?
Yes,
All
got
right.
it.
But hey, do not be confused. This is not go get a new job because all of a sudden I don't like medical coding. This is you took on way too much and you're drowning, and we need to make sure that we can get our head above water. Then the enjoyment, the love of the work will come back. All right, let's go to Bozeman, Montana. Jeff is there. Jeff, how can we help?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I'm just calling today. I'm kind of recently new to the Ramsey method, and me and my wife have been working on it the last few months, but just recently her dad gave us the opportunity where he wants us to buy his business, which is where I currently work. And she thinks that we need to wait longer and pay off some more debt before we do it. I'm kind of hesitant and just kind of want to go for it. he will finance us himself, and we'd be able to just pay him off the profits that the business makes. So it wouldn't really be cutting into our current income at all. And it is a pretty successful business.
So where's her hesitation coming from? Obviously, she wants to pay off the debt. You're saying it's not going to affect your debt payoff goals.
So part of her hesitation, she doesn't want us to be stuck with the business. And also we're expecting a baby this summer.
Big life change. Now, how quickly would this takeover happen? If you're paying him from the profits, are you owners day one? How does that piece work?
Yeah, we would be owners day one, and we would pay him for probably like 12 years.
Are you guys ready to take on ownership and that responsibility? I'm guessing it's more time involved as well.
I'm already running the business. I just got promoted in the last couple months. So it would be a little bit more, but not a whole lot. I'm already pretty much the head person in charge there.
What's the structure of the deal? How much is it going to cost you guys, and how long will this take?
It will take, about 12 years to pay off, and it's like a $5 million business. So
what's he charging you to take it?
He wouldn't be charging us any interest, and so it's like $400,000 or $500,000 a year.
Wow. So what happens, a few years from now, let's say the profits aren't there and you still owe him millions of dollars?
Right, and so that is a possibility. He has ran this business for 30 years, so it is pretty consistent, but, I mean, anything can happen. So that is a possibility.
What's the rush on doing this now? Can it be a year from now you start this process?
I mean, he's kind of rushing us, and then I also am just like, well, I mean, the sooner we start, a savings account. Basically, all the money that we pay into that business, theoretically, once we own it and are able to sell it, that would be, just more money that we would have.
I mean, it sounds like it could be a good deal, but I'm worried with your pregnant wife stressing out about this and having the debt. If it's just we need to pause and look into it more and get more in writing. What do you think, Ken?
I think that he wants you all to have the business, and I think it's okay for you to go, you know what, can we just push this off a year and then I'm all in. I think George's advice is right, and I think he'll be fine. He's not going to force you to do this now. So just be a man. He'll be cool. Hey, George, good hour.
Always fun
Good
time.
show. I want to thank James and the crew behind the glass for keeping us on the air. I want to thank you, America. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, it's George Camel. If you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click on the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.